memory that might not even be theirs, just so that they can have an answer. But sometimes people come up with really, really beautiful ones and things like that. Often it does involve grandparents and a lot of riding bikes and going to the beach and things like that, but it's really, really beautiful. And then occasionally I'll come across a super fan who's either been to the show before or seen the show online and ends up telling me the deepest core memory from one's childhood that you could ever have, and it is very, very intense, and sometimes will sit with me all week until the following Friday or Saturday when I hear another core memory from somebody. But obviously I haven't been experiencing that for the last few weeks that I've been doing shows, but I always reply to them with one of my favourite memories from when I was younger, which, you know, a year and a half ago felt very much like a good idea, but this is my 84th fucking memory. And I have lots of memories. I have lots of good memories, but if you try and think of, if you're like scraping the barrel to try and think of your 84th one, a lot of negative things come up as well, you know? And then you go home from like being on stage with all of you guys and you just end up spiralling all night about one memory that you didn't even remember before you were trying to remember a memory for a show. But anyway, earlier on when I was getting my glam done, I watched an M. Night Shyamalan movie. It was Knock in the Cabins. I'm getting that completely wrong, but you know what I'm talking about. It was his last one. I love him, I've always loved him, I think he's brilliant. And then I was trying to describe it to like, everyone that makes me look like this, basically, because I don't actually look like this. And they were like, oh, we'll describe it, is it, blah, blah, blah. I was like, what's his last movie? And then they were like, what was the one before that? And I was like, well, I think it was Old, which I also liked, and they haven't seen that. And then they said, is it as good as Sixth Sense? Which is the stupidest question I think I've ever heard, because I think Sixth Sense is one of the greatest movies of all time. And I'm absolutely a movie buff. That's actually the career and industry I should be in. I know that sounds fucking ridiculous, but it is. It's my one huge passion in my life is TV and film. Anyway, so it got us discussing the plot twist. You know the plot twist at the end of Sixth Sense? You know, if any of you haven't seen it, I understand if the kids haven't seen it, but if you're a grown adult and you haven't seen it, you need to get your life together. Because it really is brilliant. And there's a plot twist at the end, which I have gone in search of recently to try and find a film with a better plot twist. I cannot find one. Now, there are movies with other plot twists, don't get me wrong, and they're brilliant, but none of them are as good as the one in Sixth Sense. And I know maybe I'm a little bit biased because it was also, I was a bit obsessed with Bruce Willis around that time because of Not Long Been Armageddon. And it was from that movie I realised I liked older men. I don't like 10-year-old men. I had a real thing for Bruce Willis. I mean, I still do, absolutely, but you know, as like a movie star. But him delivering and him being the plot twist was absolutely blew my mind. And it just got me thinking about the first time I saw Sixth Sense, which I remember very, very clearly. I remember everything about it because of how good the plot twist was. And I also was telling, I watched it recently with one of my best friends to see if the plot twist felt any different. I remember all the things of my life. But if you haven't seen it, you should absolutely go and watch it. And if you have seen it, you should watch it again because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch that and then I'm watching Gaga Fanatical.